Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. It is January 31st, 2025. I'm Roy Cuevas.
And I'm Nicole Zayek. Investigators today are pouring through data from the black boxes of the passenger plane and Army helicopter that collided on Wednesday night near Reagan National Airport. Delaney Smith reports that there are no new findings.
This was a dark and excruciating night in our nation's capital and in our nation's history, and a tragedy of terrible proportions.
President Trump offering condolences after a passenger plane collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter midair over Washington late Wednesday night. On board, several athletes, coaches, and family members returning from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Members of the Skating Club of Boston confirmed killed in the crash.
Together we take solace in the knowledge that their journey ended not in the cold waters of the Potomac, but in the warm embrace of a loving God.
American Airlines says PSA operated Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, was trying to land at Reagan National Airport when the collision occurred.
We're now at a point where we are switching from a rescue operation to a recovery operation. At this point, we don't believe there are any survivors from this accident.
64 people are believed to have been on board the commercial flight when it went down the Potomac River. According to officials, the helicopter was on a training flight from Virginia and had 3 soldiers on board.
At this time, we don't know why the military aircraft came into the path of the PSA aircraft.
Officials promising victims' families a quick investigation.
We commit to them that we are going to get to the bottom of this investigation, not in 3 years, not in 4 years, but as quickly as possible.
I'm Delaney Smith for iPulse TV News.
Over the past 2 weeks, there have been protests around the country. Organizers say they are a response to President Trump's nationwide illegal immigration crackdown. Reporter Alison Wallace is covering the protest in Chicago.
January 25th, hundreds of people flooded Chicago's streets and the river north to protest Trump's first week in office.
It's really important to have solidarity, especially at times like these, regardless of what's happened in the past. I think what's done is done.
Activists calling on Trump's administration to end the violence in Gaza and to stop the plans Trump has for deportations.
We are really showing that working people are united to oppose fascism, to oppose racism, to oppose his co-president Elon Musk making Nazi salutes at the inauguration.
More than 60 organizations and mass crowds of people were there advocating for LGBTQ+ and immigrant rights. The protesters spoke their truth at the rally.
We are happy about the ceasefire. Thank God the bloodshed stopped. But we are concerned about liberation of Palestine.
Others here are concerned about the mass deportations promised and how they will affect those with temporary protected immigration status.
They make a big mistake by voting for Trump because Trump, he's a liar.
A crowd of around 1,000 people marched down Michigan Avenue and held a rally across the river from Trump Tower. I'm Allison Wallace for iPulse Live.
In our iPulse Extra, later in the broadcast, we are talking with a local immigration attorney, Richard Huber. He breaks down the controversy for supporters and opponents of President Trump's mass deportation plans.
It's challenging because you do see all this passion on both sides. Sometimes it's too much. It really is too much. People that believe we're on stolen land and that we should have no borders and have an open border are obviously insane. But the mindset of there not being any real case-by-case review and looking at these as people, as human beings, not as numbers, and not just sending out like almost robots out in the street grabbing people based on their immigration status, I think that extreme is also ridiculous.
Again, much more of that interview later in our broadcast. But first, earlier today, Lynn University's freshman class presented annual citizenship projects. Each project targets one of the United Nations sustainability goals. Reporter Lillian Carrion was there.
Hello everyone, we're back with another iPulse report. We're here at the Lynn University Citizenship Project Fair. Let's go check it out. At the Citizenship Fair, the freshman students presented the projects they have been working on. Projects that can help society become more sustainable. Judges then were to decide which of the projects were the best for helping the community. Lynn University president and faculty members share their perspective on how the Citizenship Project can make a positive impact within society.
It's so exciting and you can feel it. Everyone's so excited and happy about the impact they've had. Citizenship Project is our commitment to community, to the Lynn University community, as well as South Florida.
It brings all of our students together so that they can display their work and show why they care and how they want to make a difference in the world.
We have all freshmen take part in this class, and it basically engages all freshmen in civic engagement, giving back to the community, and just learning about volunteer work and why it's important to give back to the community.
What's the role Lynn University plays in this, like into inviting students to pursue something for society?
Well, as we know, Lynn is very giving. We always want to give back. We always want to show our community how much we love them and appreciate them, always giving back in some kind of way. This just teaches freshmen the Lynn environment and how we always want to give back. It's important to us as students as well as being part of Lynn, so yeah.
It was amazing to see all students and teachers getting together to help the community. My name is Lia Carrera for iPulse News. High five!
Palm Beach beauty professionals Kimberly Pike and Sharon Ice provide bridal hair and makeup services tailored to each client's vision. Specializing in bridal work, this pair ensures brides look and feel their best on their big day. Reporter Delaney Smith had the chance to spend time with them and experience their work firsthand, getting her hair and makeup done as their muse.
For every bride, the journey to their wedding day is filled with excitement, anticipation, and the desire to look and feel their best. That's where Palm Beach bridal hairstylist Kimberly Pike and Palm Beach makeup artist Sharon Icy come in.
I actually got started when I was 18 working behind the makeup counter. I worked for Chanel for 3 years. That's where I learned all the basics. And after that, I moved over to MAC, and I was with them for 17 years. And I left MAC, and I've been a freelancer for 10 years. I do production work, weddings, event makeup, and a lot of photo shoots as well. So I've been in the industry for about 20 years now. I actually started off in a salon doing hair behind the chair, and then I focused more on makeup at that time, but realized quickly that I just had a love for bridal hair. So I focused on that, and I've been doing that full-time for probably about 10 years now.
From months of preparation to the day of service, this team works closely with the bride to bring their vision to life. This team provides on-location services and pays close attention to detail, ensuring the bride feels confident as they walk down the aisle.
It could start as early as 4 a.m., which people are shocked that we actually offer that type of service. Planning really does begin probably months, sometimes even years before, we'll get booked. So we'll set a schedule for you depending on your wants, your needs, the size of your bridal party. But we typically book 45 minutes to an hour. We like to take our time, and we're a bit of a perfectionist. So, but brides usually take about an hour and a half. It's just the day of, it can get a little overwhelming and chaotic. So we like to have a set schedule, and we do that all in advance, just so everything runs seamlessly.
I asked the duo to do some work on me, and I got to experience their art firsthand. Their expertise truly transformed my look.
So some of the most popular styles that we have in the industry right now, you're seeing before your eyes. This is like a twist, what I like to call a modern day twist, where it's not so structured. You still have the bottom where it looks like the old school French twist, but in this Florida heat, this is an awesome option for anyone. Doesn't matter the length of your hair either. If it's short, long, there's always a way. For her, we did the glam waves. These are a little more structured, but there's different options that you can do. You want to show them the back? So usually a glam wave, you'll just see a seamless wave all throughout, and they can be more structured or they could be softer. Okay, so for the makeup, what we did over here was something a little bit more bronzy, glowy. She has a sparkly eyeshadow on the lid, which actually is like a dual chrome shadow. It has sparkles and different colors. And over here, we have some rose tone shadows. The blush and the lip are kind of in the same family. It's a monochromatic makeup. She has a bit of a wing liner on the top. I also did some sparkle on the lid.
I'm Delaney Smith for iPulse TV News.
If you're looking for a fun activity to do this weekend, the South Florida Fair is currently underway in West Palm Beach. featuring traditional carnival games, food, and rides, along with a futuristic exhibition. Reporter Davindra Belbis joined in on the fun.
The South Florida Fair is an annual event held in West Palm Beach, Florida every January. Every year, the fair brings family and friends together for a fun, exciting day. Whether it's the petting zoo, Ferris wheel, food, or nostalgic carnival themes, the fair has something for everyone to enjoy.
My favorite part is the petting zoo because I love being close to the little goats. They're so cute. Yes. And the food. I love this corn dog. But it's definitely an experience that I love to go to next year. Yes.
While the fair featured your traditional attractions with bright, colorful signs, carnival games, food, and variety of rides, the Expo Center had something completely different. This year's Expo theme is Imagine the Future. Partnering with Imagine Exhibitions Incorporated, the Expo Center featured 15 interactive, engaging exhibits that challenged the mind and body. While many attendees came for only the fair, others were particularly interested in the futuristic exhibits that the Expo Center offered.
It's really cool. I like all the lighting and it looks very futuristic.
I think it's pretty cool. It's a little freaky, but I think it's cool. What about you, Carter?
Yeah, no, I like it. I've enjoyed it for sure.
Between the robotic dancing dog to hologram machines, attendees were able to interact with futuristic and digital experiences. This set the stage for a unique journey of science exploration, curiosity, and discovery. The fair runs until February 2nd, and ticket information is available on the South Florida Fair website. My name is Davindra Belbis, reporting for iPulse Live.
Earlier this month, the South Florida Strawberry Festival occurred in Boca Raton, bringing a weekend full of fun for the whole family. From strawberry-themed treats and live music to exciting rides and local vendors. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Reporter Ariela Pierre went to check it out.
iPulse was at the annual Strawberry Festival held in Boca. We spoke to a worker about the festival's purpose.
Owners sell, they have a farm, a little strawberry farm. So they do festivals to promote their, to get more money. It's like a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for their farm.
Many people came out to support, and we got to ask the owners a few questions.
So, South Florida Strawberry Festival happens every year the third weekend of January in West Boca Raton, South County Regional Park. And we've got a ton going on here for all ages, starting from the little ones for our baby soft play area to carnival rides to mega inflatables. We've got amazing local vendor shopping, live music, and of course the stars of the show, strawberries and strawberry treats.
Not only did they have all those cool things, but they also had a puppy show from America's Got Talent performers for all the families.
Who let the dogs out? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause and welcoming the Puppy Pals, as seen on America's Got Talent. Now we're going to introduce these guys one by one. Go, Rudy. There he goes. He's hopping over the first, the second, the third, the fourth. He's almost made it. And he's there. Making his way. Whoa!
The festival wasn't only fun, but also helped local businesses.
We have tons of amazing local vendors. We love to support our artisans, our vendors. They come out and sell all of their handmade products.
We're small business, we're small businesses.
If you missed this festival, there's another festival coming up really soon.
The Watermelon Festival is a new addition to our festival lineup this year. We're really excited about it. It is also going to be happening in this same park, South County Regional Park in Boca Raton. And that one is going to be more focused on watermelon games and activities. We'll do some watermelon foods, but the strawberry seems to be a little bit easier to use in foods with watermelon, so we'll have a lot of fun activities.
iPulse had a great time covering this story. Come out in April to support the Watermelon Festival with us.
And now here's reporter Noah Barkley with the weather forecast for our area.
Noah Barkley, welcome back to the weather. A straight band of rain comes through South Florida, but it breaks up right before it actually hits because of a high pressure that comes in from the Atlantic. Now, another high pressure comes in and hits North Florida as well, so it's going to drive any rain that's coming from Texas away because there is some precipitation over in Texas and the Alabama area. Down toward the Gulf of Mexico and into the Atlantic Ocean, there is more rain, but again, those high pressures are really preventing anything from coming through. Another slight band may come through, but there are some spotty showers, as you'll see here, on Monday on the next still. There is a little bit that comes through on South Florida near Boca Raton, but that's on Monday, and it's only going to be for a little bit. That is the most rain you'll expect. It might rain for maybe 5-10 minutes. It'll barely show up in the hourly forecast you'll find in your local weather app. As you'll see on the 7-day forecast, really most of the week it's going to remain pretty hot. There's going to be a little 80, 83 going into the weekend, 80 on Sunday. But after that, it's going to kind of remain still the rest of the week. The temperature is going to remain relatively the same. It's really only going to get as low as 79, if you want to call that low, depending on where you are. The highest it'll get is 80. And then as we get into the nighttime, it'll still be a little warm. It'll be a little humid as that time of year is starting to kick in once again. Again, I'm Noah Barkley. Thank you very much. Back to you guys.
Vitaly Kostin is one of the standout athletes at Lynn University. Known for his dedication as a swimmer, his journey in the pool is a testament to his hard work and passion for the sport. Reporter Lilian Carrion dove into Vitaly's story to see what keeps him motivated.
Hello everyone, my name is Lilian Carrion, back with another athlete profile for iPulse Sports. Today I'm with Vitaly from the swimming team. Vitaly, how are you?
Hi Lilian, doing good. Thank you for coming here to our pool. The weather is not that good today, but I hope the interview is going to be much better than the weather.
Vitaly Kostin has shown a lot of his journey coming from Russia to the US pursuing a dream, swimming.
When I was a kid, I was dreaming about US and like open pools and everything. So 4 years ago, I got to Arizona and started my degree there. I got first degree there, and then I decided to move in the other state, and this state was Florida. I've been here once during the meets, and like I was thinking just about Florida, thinking about the next move.
Vitaly is very passionate about swimming. Since he was very young, back home in Russia, he started working himself so he could pursue that career outside of his country.
Swimming is just a lifestyle, you know. What I like in swimming is that I'm being disciplined every single day. I had a couple months off this summer without swimming, and I just realized that I don't like the feeling in the morning without doing something.
Like, so today Vitaly is going to show me some of the essential warm-ups, right? Before you have practice and swimming. Okay, let's try it out.
Okay, let's start with freestyle warm-up. So straight arms, we're going forward. Rotate our shoulders. Yeah, like this. You can go like it. So then you're going back, so same. You look into the sky.
I feel really good. This story, as many, is one example of excellence and perseverance towards sports. My name is Lilian Carrion for iPulse News.
On January 23rd, it was announced that Nosferatu was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. The film was released on Christmas Day last year. It has been captivating audiences worldwide with its twisted love story between a vampire and an innocent woman. Here to review and comment on the movie are Guilherme de Domenico and Lisette Guillen with their brand new podcast, Couch Potatoes.
So this film came out in 2024. However, it is a remake of the 1922 film Nosferatu. It stars Lily Rose Depp, who plays Ellen Hutter, Nicholas Hoult as Thomas Hutter, Willem Dafoe as Professor Alban Eberhardt, and Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu himself. The film is about Count Orlok, which is another name for Nosferatu, and he is a vampire infatuated with Ellen, who is Thomas's wife. And he commits absolutely horrendous acts to be together with her forever. So, Gia, I know we have differing views. You want to start with your review?
Yeah, sure. I'm a huge fan of the director of this movie, Robert Eggers. Mm-hmm. I've seen all of his movies. I don't think there was enough for me to be grabbed by the movie. I didn't feel there was, I think it is the least sort of, I guess, operatic movie of his. I don't know. I didn't really feel like the story engrossed me enough. I will say that his signature style is still there. I love the cinematography. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can say your opinion because I know you liked it. So,
yeah, I did. Well, I know you didn't like the freakiness of it. I did. Dracula is kind of a creep. If you look at Bela Lugosi's Dracula, he's after the young girl. like 20 years old, very pretty, kind of naive. Oh, look at me, look at me. So it was kind of just the same with Nosferatu. It was just more graphic, definitely, more intimate.
Maybe you've made me see the other way.
Yeah. I really love the cinematography of it. I think you mentioned that as well.
Yeah.
I think he kind of lures you into the plot. I was just like on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. When you kind of like first see him really towards the end of the movie, because the rest, everything before that is kind of just like a shadow or like the back of the head or something. I was like, there's no way they just put a mustache on a 300-year-old man. It kind of just felt like out of place. I think they should have gone no mustache because it was just weird. It didn't fit the character. It was kind of just like,
I think if it was the vibe of the movie, though, a lot of men with mustaches in this movie.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it was like to, I don't know. It didn't work for me.
He adapted to the time.
Yeah.
Tune in next for our next movie we will review, which we will decide. But yeah, I hope you like this for that episode of Couch Potatoes. And bye.
Boston Dynamics is a company that specializes in futuristic robotics aimed at all forms of automation and carrying out some of the toughest challenges. Now the company has created a new kind of robotic police dog, being named the Spot model. This new robo-dog has made its debut in stations such as the Las Vegas Police Department. Hunter Rossi reports.
This is RoboDog, the four-legged machine about the size of a golden retriever. This is the Spot model, built by Boston Dynamics. It doesn't have an official name for Metro just yet.
We just call it the Spot Dog, or the Boston, but no nickname yet. It hasn't earned it yet.
Like a puppy, it is in training, but it can already do all sorts of impressive tricks. With a snake-like head that functions as an arm, it can fetch. Or with a command sent via a tablet controller, it can spin. And unlike real dogs, it can see in darkness. Its tail is made up of a system of 360-degree cameras, including infrared.
Or I need to see if I can detect somebody hiding behind something, I can go to that infrared mode and it should be able to see them. When I started this, I never thought we'd have this type of technology.
Detective Breck Hodgson has been working with the RoboDog since it arrived a few months ago.
I'm controlling, but it is also helping me out by reading the environment itself and avoiding certain things.
The RoboDog gets its commands via Wi-Fi, but there's also a backup network.
A mesh network radio system is on any of our tactical deployments to allow me to operate it at a further distance and longer range.
Like a real police dog, RoboDog can detect things like explosives.
I can attach different types of sensors and monitors to it so that we can see what we have.
RoboDog's main job, SWAT operations. To go in during standoff and protect the lives of officers and real dogs from suspects who are ready to attack.
You did so good, buddy. You did good. You're a good boy.
Back in March, Metro's K9 Enzo was sent in during a standoff at a motel, but was stabbed multiple times. A police helicopter rushed him to a vet across the valley, saving his life. But now, RoboDog can be used in these dangerous situations instead.
If we can introduce it without having to introduce a human being, so a fellow officer or even a canine officer, we're going to try and do that.
Massachusetts State Police say that their RoboDog was shot several times during a standoff at a home earlier this year. That distraction allowed them to throw tear gas inside, leading the suspect to surrender. Though the life of the RoboDog was over, no real dogs nor officers were harmed. The Robo Police Dog successfully completed its mission. This has been Hunter Rossi reporting for iPulse Live.
Now for our iPulse Extra, the illegal immigration debate. President Trump's administration is in the midst of a nationwide crackdown. Florida Republican lawmakers are fighting with the governor over how far and how much to do. Reporter Alison Wallace sat down with well-known immigration attorney Richard Huber to discuss some of the issues that play in Florida and around the country.
There are a lot. There's no doubt about it. I've seen numbers from more than 500,000 to numbers even greater than that. But in terms of where they're from, I have clients from all around the world. So I have clients from Haiti, from Nicaragua, from Colombia, Haiti, I already said Haiti, but Venezuela, Cuba. I mean, I really love being in Palm Beach County in particular because I think it's a very diverse community. So I'm able to represent clients from literally all around the world. And that's what I like about Palm Beach.
Absolutely. Palm Beach is a good area. So
Going off of that question, what jobs do these immigrants in Florida typically have? And do studies exist that shows if they take jobs from U.S. citizens?
So that's a great question too, because I feel my clients are so diverse in terms of what they're doing, because you get to know them after a while and get a sense for the work they do and financially how they're doing, et cetera. I have clients that set up businesses, successful businesses, clients that are doing landscaping, construction, clients that are doing pool cleaning. And some, when you can look at the numbers and during a case, I could see a lot of documents and some numbers are doing so well that it's really amazing. So there are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people with this American dream that is so beautiful to see, because I think over generations, sometimes Americans, kind of lose sight of the fact that we have such amazing opportunities here. So my clients and immigrants in general, I think, remind us of these opportunities, because in so many countries, they just don't have those. So it's very diverse. I have clients that do all kinds of different work. As far as taking jobs from Americans, I think that's a really challenging area. I don't really know of too many studies that go into that in detail, and I certainly don't trust any real conclusion from that, because it's all about salary, prevailing wage, market conditions in terms of labor. A lot of arguments could be made that if the wages were higher, Americans would do some of the work that you have certain types of immigrants doing. But their willingness to take a lower salary than Americans obviously makes it more challenging. So that's a huge area, just a sensitive topic that I could go on about for hours, but it's hard to say I don't think there's been any real conclusions that I would put a lot of faith and merit into.
Mm-hmm. And how would you say this all affects Florida's economy with what we just talked about?
I mean, I know, born and raised in Miami, living in South Florida most of my life. I lived in DC for a while. I went to school in Gainesville for a while at UF. Florida is just a huge, diverse immigrant community. And I think it's important to distinguish between immigrant and perhaps illegal immigrant, undocumented, because that's just a huge distinction that I don't think people really take or realize. So it's a huge aspect of our economy. A lot of different industries really rely on immigrant labor. Like I mentioned, construction, agriculture, certainly, tourism, services. Yeah. So it's a huge part of our economy, and they bring so much to the table. It's a matter of what kind of visas they have, what status they have, and unfortunately, if you do not have status, then like I said, it becomes a situation where they're paid far less, and the issues and implications that come with that.
Especially with all the hard labor jobs out there too.
Yeah.
They do a lot of that. Would you mind sharing what are your personal thoughts on President Trump signing an executive order to get rid of birthright citizenship? And do you think this will hold up in courts?
Now, that's a fascinating question, because I've dealt with the issue a bit. It's not so cut and dry, I think, as people might think. There hasn't been a lot of litigation on it. There hasn't been a lot of clarification on it. And I think that's a reason why he's taken such an interesting stance from day one and issuing this executive order. I think there will be now a lot more litigation and clarification forthcoming, but it's going to take a while. I've had cases in my 28 years that I do this that are very fascinating. Cases where you find out the specifics of that law or that whole proposition in terms of, just a quick example, I had a person who not only thought that they were citizens, and I'm not just talking about one, but a whole set of siblings, and it was 2 or 3 siblings that were born in the United States to a diplomat, who was also a general in the military from his country. But even though they were born here, I think in Bethesda Hospital in DC, of all places, and they were given passports, U.S. passports, have a birth certificate, obviously showing that they were born in the States. After decades of being here and after decades of renewing their passport, which you renew every 10 years, as you know, they finally were told at one point after 9/11 that they are not citizens, because when you're the son of a diplomat and you're born in the States, you're a child of a diplomat, you don't necessarily qualify for this birthright citizenship.
Oh, wow.
Something a lot of people don't know. And it was very surprising to them. And this was a really challenging case, because could you imagine, after decades of being here and thinking they're citizens, to find out that they're not?
With illegal immigration and the crackdown underway, there are so many supporters and opponents. What would you say about both sides as we move forward?
Well, that's literally me, because I am the son of immigrants. But I worked in the government for years as a government attorney, so I kind of see both sides of this. I interviewed to be an immigration judge because I think I am pretty impartial and neutral on this as the son of immigrants, but also having had top secret security clearance and knowing full well after 9/11 how important it is to have a border and have security. It's challenging because you do see all this passion on both sides. Sometimes it's too much. It really is too much. People that believe we're on stolen land and that we should have no borders and have an open border are obviously insane. Like literally, that's insane to have that kind of a mindset after 9/11 and for so many other reasons. But the mindset of there not being any real case-by-case review and looking at these as people, as human beings, not as numbers, and not just sending out like almost robots out in the street grabbing people based on their immigration status. I think that extreme is also ridiculous because they are people, they're human beings.
And that's our broadcast for January 31st, 2025. I'm Nicole Zayek.
And I'm Roy Cuevas. We'll return next week with another edition of iPulse Live. In the meantime, you can follow us on YouTube at iPulse.